Hey guys, it's Brad. If you're not familiar with my channel, let me just take a second to explain who I am. My wife Olivia and I moved here about 2.5 years ago full-time from America. We really enjoy living here. We've had a great time. There's ups, there's downs, but overall we were really happy and appreciative that the Italian people let us live in their country. I've always really spoken clearly to you about moving here. I don't sugarcoat anything. And I want you to watch this video and understand exactly what I'm saying. I hope you watch it through before you make any comments, because sometimes people misconstrue what I'm trying to say. We had a very serious medical emergency this week. That's why Olivia is not here. She is back home and recovering. And I wanted to tell you what exactly happened and why Brad's World probably won't be on for the next month or so as we get sorted out what we're going to do with this current situation with Olivia and her health. This week, Olivia started training with a new trainer at our local gym. We've been going there for about 7 months, but she decided to get a trainer. On Tuesday, she started a class and after about 30 minutes started getting what we thought was a migraine. She came back home. She was in pretty bad shape, but it was borderline, should we go see a doctor or not? She's had migraines most of her adult life, although she hasn't had any since we moved here to Italy. She felt better by the end of the day. We wrote it off to maybe being dehydrated or the fact that she didn't eat before she went to the gym, or it was her first day of training. She went back on Thursday, and within a few minutes of actually working out with the trainer, she kind of collapsed down to the floor and was holding her head in pain. It was an excruciating pain, and we immediately called for an ambulance. And I want to say right here that the Montepulciano, the Chiusi, Chianciano Terme, the Siena, the Pienza, and the Sinalunga ambulance service are amazing. I said so many towns because by the end of the day, she had taken 3 different ambulance rides from 4 different jurisdictions, and they took excellent care of her. When we got to the hospital, they were able to admit her very fast. She went in for a CT scan, and after about 2 hours, they called me in and said that she had bleeding on the brain and a blood clot. Now, especially when your wife is in an amazing amount of pain, that's very difficult to hear. In the end, that turned out to not be the case, but we didn't know that then. They bundled her up and they got her into yet another ambulance from Montepulciano, where we live, to Siena, which is almost an hour away, because they wanted to get her to the neurosurgery center and they were waiting for her. So we rushed over there. They did another CT scan with contrast, and after about 2 hours, they decided there was no bleeding on the brain and there was no blood clot. They really didn't know what was causing the pain at that time, why it had such a sudden onset. The medical services here are very different than what we're used to in the United States, where you could spend, had we been in the United States, the hospital charges to our insurance company or to us would have been well over $100,000 US had all this stuff happened in the US, because we ended up taking 3 hours worth of ambulance rides and 2 CT scans at the emergency level and 16 hours in the ER room. We're very happy that we're here, but you need to know that the system here is very different than the United States. You have to be an advocate for yourself. I would say that the physical service that we received, the testing, the admittance, everything was top-notch. I do have to say, in all honesty, because you deserve to know what you're getting into, the attitude of many of the hospital doctors and nurses, and a special shout out to the you-know-what that runs the triage here in our town. I don't understand why people have to behave like that, why they have to be so rude. And it is a well-known fact here. I have talked to so many of my friends here, Italian friends, and told them what happened. And they are aghast, they are not surprised, and they say all that is very common. It is so important that you position yourself here in Italy. If you're thinking of moving here, you need to position yourself near good health care. I have said so many times on my channel how worried I am about my subscribers who are thinking about moving into some mountain village with no health care in the village, and the nearest clinic is 30 minutes away, and the nearest full-service hospital is more than an hour away. We were less than 10 minutes from the gym where they picked up Oli to our main regional hospital, and that is by design. That 10 minutes seemed like an eternity. I am not kidding you. When the love of your life is screaming in pain and holding their head, you can't get to the hospital fast enough. Do you really want to be on a curvy mountain road somewhere that you're going to get to a substandard hospital? You need to plan this out very carefully. Before I forget, I want to send a special shout out too to my gym here in Montepulciano, Top Gym, Oli's personal trainer, Anna, and the owner, Paolo. Grazie mille per il servizio. Bravo. They were so amazing. They helped so much. The owner of the gym came to the hospital. Anna called me all day long for updates. So I just want to get that off my chest because this is very personal. You need to have your Italian language in order. Guys, I've said this so many times. It's so important. It's one thing to be able to live here and call up a restaurant you want to go to and say, posso fare un prenotazione per oggi alle 20, 4 persone? That's one thing. Being able to arrive at a hospital and say, dobbiamo consultare un neurologico. I can't even say it right, and I'm not under a lot of stress right now. We need to consult a neurologist. Or credo che mi moglie abbia un coagulo de sangue nel cervello. I mean, are you going to be able to come up with stuff like that? I doubt it. I couldn't. I froze up because my wife was in so much pain. They do not let second parties into the examination rooms. They would not let me in for the first 3 hours. Oli's Italian is much better than mine, but she was in a lot of pain and was having a hard time keeping track of the conversation. There's a lot of things here could be done better. There could be more empathy. They could forget about their COVID restrictions and let at least a family member or a translator into the room. And I know for a fact that a lot of the medical workers here, especially at the MD level, do speak English because they do training all over. Why they choose not to speak it or offer it, I don't know. And maybe there's good reasons they don't. But I certainly can't think of any today. The cost of what we went through in the last couple days was zero out of pocket. They sign you in, you have your health care card, and they take care of you. The same would be true if you were visiting Italy and something like what happened to Olivia happened to you. The healthcare system here for what you pay is very good, but it's very different. And right now I'm just talking to mainly Americans because I don't know what it's like in Canada. I know everywhere is different, and I know universal health care, you have to be an advocate for yourself. But in the United States, if you had something like what Olivia had, and the test on the CT scan with contrast came out negative, they wouldn't say, okay, well, maybe get with a neurologist, we're releasing you. They would look at the next steps. What could it be? Could it be a ruptured vein in the neck? She has neck pain. Could it be something else that they're not catching on the CT scan? And they would probably want to run as many tests as they can to up the cost. But it's very different here. We have an appointment later this week with a neurologist specialist on the private system here in Montepulciano. And so hopefully we'll have more answers and maybe get directed to more tests. Just so you know, because I know so many of you love Oli so much in the videos and care about her, she is absolutely as sweet and wonderful as she comes across in my videos. I can tell you that our cost for everything that we went through 2 days ago is completely covered by our medical insurance that we pay here. And for that, we're very grateful. It's not a free service. We pay an extraordinary amount of taxes living here in Italy. I pay more in just federal income tax here in Italy than the average family of 4 pays by a factor of 2. We pay a lot of tax. We create a lot of business. We pay tax on that business. We employ architects and all sorts of different people. Because I've had people say, you should never say anything negative about how long it takes to get your permesso di soggiorno, or about the jerk doctor that literally told my wife when she asked for water, you're being discharged soon. You can get water when you go home. I swear to God, that's what they said. And not one of my Italian friends was surprised that they said that. So these are the things that you need to know about. You will pay for this medical care. In the end, the service is very good. But it's a lot to get through, and it's a whole new system that you are going to have to learn. Before you pick a place to live, besides the fact that there physically needs to be a hospital there, you need to ask the local people, what is that hospital like? Because your life, like Oli's, may depend on it one day. That's basically all I wanted to get through to you guys in this video. I wanted to explain why you're suddenly not going to see any Brad's World for the next couple weeks. We really need to work through all this stuff, and I want to focus completely on Olivia. Ironically, it's also her 50th birthday in 2 weeks, and we have people flying in from Mexico, the United States, from all over Italy are coming in, and we're going to be busy getting that done and getting her healthcare situation figured out. But she wanted to let all of you know that she really appreciates all the kind words you say in every video that she's in, and I know she'll get a lot of well wishes from this video, and I'm doing everything I can to take great care of her. And as we learn more about the system, as we learn more about her prognosis, about what's really going on, we'll of course share it with you guys. So, thank you so much for watching Brad's World, and we'll see you guys hopefully within the next month or so. All right? Ciao. Hey guys, it's Brad. Well, I'm in front of the ER now with Oli. She had a real spike in her blood pressure, and I just wanted to show you guys what a hospital here looks like. This is a very small hospital. The one in Siena was at least 20 or 30 times this big, 7 gigantic buildings. I don't even know where to look in this camera, sorry. We're about 30 minutes from home. We refuse to go back to the one that's very near our house in Montepulciano, especially in the evening when we know the evening ER doctor is the guy that doesn't like us. So anyway, the beat goes on. She got in here in less than 1 minute, which is amazing. And they have her inside right now, checking her out. It's a Saturday night. We just wanted to be safe. Better safe than sorry. So this is what it's like here. This is what you do.